Hi and welcome to my channel, Black Cats Pilates. I'm Sarah. Thanks for joining me today for this 20-minute beginner-friendly workout. You're not going to need any equipment or any experience, just your lovely self, maybe a mat to work on or at least a comfortable space. We're going to be starting in a seated position at the end of the mat, so I'll see you there in just a second. All right, we're going to start seated, but then roll back into supine where we'll do our warm-up. So do make sure you've got a bit of space behind you. And then just place your hands behind your knees, sit tall. All right, let's breathe in through the nose. Then when we breathe out through the mouth, just draw your navel in toward the spine, lower the ribs, lean back with the shoulders, let go of the knees, go all the way down into supine where we'll have a full body stretch. So reach your arms overhead, lengthen out the legs, and then wiggle your fingers and toes. It's quite nice to have a bit of a calf stretch here. So if you just flex your ankles, so that's just turning the toes up toward the ceiling, you should get a really good stretch down the back of your legs. All right, now place your hands down on the floor. So arms down, palms facing down, and then pop your feet down. So you've got your legs in a crook position. This is just knees and feet hip width apart. Okay, let's get comfy, relaxing the shoulders and relaxing the hips. Now, before we do anything, we're just going to do a little bit of breathing, okay? So connect with the body and also just let go of any tension, especially around the neck and the shoulders and around the pelvis. So let's breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, which is what we do in Pilates. We're going to do that together. Big, deep inhale. And then exhale through the mouth. Lovely. Now we're going to keep doing that. We'll do a couple more, but every time you exhale, try and relax even more into the mat. Remember, shoulders and hips particularly. All right, big deep breath in. And then exhale. And again. And exhale, relax. We'll do it one more time. Big deep inhale. Exhale to relax. Fabulous. All right, now we're going to start to warm ourselves up. We'll start by doing some pelvic tilts because this is a really nice way to loosen up the lower back. So all you're going to do here is very gently tip your pelvis forward so you get a bit of a gap between the lower back and the floor. And then we're going to tip backwards, the gap closes. Let's keep this going. We're going to go slowly. And never force the body into any position. So be mindful of how this might feel as well, because often we get areas that feel a little bit tight, a little bit tender or sore around the lower back. So listen to your body and always start nice and slowly. And that range of movement is small as well. Okay, good. Nice and gentle, just massaging the back of the pelvis. Lovely. Couple more, and then we're going to relax it. Right there. Okay, so relax the whole pelvis. Now, if you can just draw your navel gently toward your spine, not too much, not too tight, just a little bit in so you can feel that you've tightened up your abdominal muscles. So you've got part of your core engaged. Now you're going to try and keep your pelvis nice and still in this same position as you reach back with your right arm. Okay, so keep the left arm by your side. Now we're going to swap arms. So your left arm will go back, right arm forward, and then we're going to swap again. But your whole body stays still. So the pelvis stays still. We're not flaring the ribs every time we reach the arm back. And we're going to add the breathing back in as well. So every time you tap your fingers down, try and take an exhale there. You're breathing in as you're swapping arms. So shoo, shoo. Nice and steady, smooth movement, lots of flow as we're warming up the shoulder joints. Lovely little gentle warm-up exercise, and we've got that little bit of core engagement as well. Brilliant. All right, we're going to relax that. So both arms back down by your sides, palms facing down, and relax your shoulders and your hips once again. We're going to go back to our pelvic tilts. Okay, so when you're ready, very gently rocking your pelvis forward and backwards. So remember, inhale forward, exhale back, and then we're going to turn this into the shoulder bridge. Okay, now before we go with shoulder bridge, keep the palms facing down and gently press the back of your upper arms onto the floor. Now, not too much because it can make you flare your ribs. You just want to feel that you've got a good connection between the back of your arms and the floor to help support you, because you're going to tuck your tailbone under and gently lift the hips, rolling up throughout the spine toward the shoulders. So that brings you into your bridge. And then you're going to roll gently down again and tip your pelvis forward. Okay, so it's exhale, rolling up, and inhale, gently down. So again, there's those pelvic tilts. So you can think of the shoulder bridge like extended pelvic tilts, but you're coming up vertebra by vertebra and relaying the spine back down vertebra by vertebra. Nice way to release the spine, just mobilize the facet joints, but you'll also notice that it's firing up the muscles around the back of your legs and into the glutes, so your buttocks. Now we're going to stay up in the bridge the next time we come up. And when you do it, try to make sure, again, that you're not flaring the ribs. Don't push down too hard with your arms. Think more about tucking the tailbone under. Okay. Now we're going to go back to those arm reaches, but we're going to stay in our bridge when we do it. So reach back with your right arm. Okay. And then we're going to swap. So left arm back, right arm down. Lovely. Try and keep the back of your pelvis square with the mat. And remember, we exhale to tap the fingers down. Inhale as you swap arms. And we're just going to go for another 4. So 4, 3, 2, 1. And arms down. Gently roll down from your bridge. And when you get there, just bring in one knee, then the other. Give yourself a little hug and circle them around. So you can go a couple of times with the knees in each direction, just massaging the lower back. Brilliant. Okay, let's place the feet back down. So legs back in a crook position. Just relax your shoulders and your hips. And now we're going to widen out the arms, palms facing up. Okay, before we do this next movement, we're going to engage the core again. So very gently draw your navel toward your spine. Remember, not too much, not too tight, just that little bit of abdominal activation. That's all we're looking for. All right, next time you breathe in, take your knees toward the floor on your right. So just let them drop over. Feel that lovely stretch around the side of your body. Now we're going to come back to the center on an out breath and make sure you keep your navel drawn in. So back to the middle. Then we're going to go over to the left. So we're going to breathe in to draw up the knees to the left. And then we breathe out to come back to center. Drawing the navel in. So hopefully you can feel how your tummy muscles, your abdominals are controlling that movement. Now let's keep this going. We're going to go back to the right again. So nice big breath in. Knees down. And then exhale. We'll go straight over to the left, breathing in. And then exhale back to center. Over to the right. And then last time, to the left. Lovely. Exhale back to the center. Perfect. All right, so the next movement we're going to do will be side lying, and this is where you might need your cushion. So if you just roll onto one side so you can face your screen and take hold of the cushion if you've got it close by. And then you're going to place your head down on the cushion at the bottom corner. All right, so that you've got cushion behind you. Now let's get set up. So make sure you've got your spine nice and straight, so it's in line with the back of the mat or thereabouts. And you're going to have knees and feet together. Just bring your knees forward so that your shins are more or less in line with the front of your mat. And then you're going to place your hands together, reach out in front of you so your arms are directly in front of your chest. Okay, good. Now let's just position the pelvis properly. So we need to make sure the hips are stacked. So this top hip is going to go away from us. You're going to send it in the direction of the bottom of your mat. Okay, draw your navel in. Let's hold that there. This movement is called book openers. You're going to take your fingertips and just run them along the inside of your bottom arm, across the chest, and open up your arm behind you. And now reach up and back over, palms together. Okay, let's go again. Nice breath in as you run your fingers along your arm, across the chest and reach back. And exhale to come back. Keeping it going. Really nice stretch for the chest into the pectorals, but try and keep your pelvis still so it stays facing forward and your hips remain stacked. So a lovely bit of rotation for the spine, really opening up the chest, stretching you around the waist. You might even feel this around the back of the pelvis just gently as well. Good. So if you're following your fingers with your eyes as well, you're going to be looking backwards just gently. Perfect. Last one there. And we'll do it the other side. Okay, so all we're going to do is place the top hand down, push down into the floor, and then you can just take hold of your cushion, pop it to the other end of your mat, and so you can still face the same direction, or same direction, but you're just going to work your other side. So we're coming down, remember, the front corner at the bottom of the cushion. Knees and feet together. We're going to bring the shins, or bring the knees forward so your shins are in line with the front of the mat. Make sure your spine is more or less straight, so in line with the back of the mat. And then we're going to stack the hips again, so making sure your waist isn't falling toward the floor. Lock it in by drawing the navel in, so engaging your core, palms together, and then arms out in front of you. Okay, good. Lovely. Let's go again then. So remember, it's top fingers or top hand. You're going to run the fingers gently along the inside of the bottom arm, across the chest, then open up your arm behind you. And then you're making a big arc or a rainbow as you take your arm up and back over, returning the palms together. So remember, breathing technique is to inhale as we slide the fingers along, exhale to return. All the while keeping the pelvis absolutely still and in that same position. Lovely. Okay, that can be the last one right there. So now if you just take the cushion away, just slide it away from you, and then we're going to come up into all fours next. So you can stay facing that same end of your mat, but you're coming up onto the hands and knees. So all fours neutral. We want a nice lengthened spine. So your hands should be directly below the shoulders, knees below the hips, making sure that you're not flexing or extending your spine. Okay, you want to be somewhere in the middle. That should be neutral. And then you're going to engage your core. So draw the navel in and make sure you're looking directly at the floor below, keeping your head in line with your spine. It's also really important to keep your elbows soft. So try not to lock them out. They don't want to be bent, but you want to keep them nice and soft. Okay, this next exercise, a little bit of balance and coordination, and you're going to feel a little bit of core activation as well. So a bit of strengthening around those tummy muscles, around the abdominals. Okay, let's start with we'll start with the right hand. You're going to gently slide your fingertips forward. Okay, so you're extending your arm in front of you, but just stop when you get there and check that your chest is still facing the floor. So if you overreach, if you keep going, your shoulder falls down. Okay, and the idea with this exercise is that you're keeping your chest parallel to the ground, so nice and square here. So that reach is quite small. Okay, then you're going to bring your hand back and do the same on the opposite side. So let's keep it going. You're going to exhale to slide, inhale to return, nice and precise. Now the key to this exercise is not letting your body take over, because it often wants to make things a little bit easier for you. So what might happen here is that as you move in your arms, or one arm forward, your body will start to kind of tip backwards towards your heels. Okay, so try not to let it. Make sure you keep your hand underneath your shoulder so you can really feel that working the shoulder joint across your chest and across the shoulders at the back. You should also feel this very gently activating the muscles around your waist as you're doing it as well. Okay, now we're going to keep it going. We're going to add legs as well, so a little bit of balance and coordination. So it's basically opposite arm and leg, alternating sides. Okay, so as you're sliding your left arm forward, it'll be right leg back, and vice versa. Try and keep your head in line with the spine, and imagine your back is like the top of a table. So you don't want it to wobble side to side. Do try and keep your tummy button lifted as well. Lovely. Remember, exhale, slide, inhale, return. Now there's one more progression here as well. Now if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. This is absolutely fine. But if you want to add a little bit of a balance challenge, you can actually raise the arm and leg, tap down and return. So it's slide, lift, tap down and return. Tap down. Brilliant. So when you do it, you can raise the leg high as you like, as long as you don't drop the front of your body down. So keep the navel drawn up and your back stays nice and straight. You're going to feel that work in the back of your legs and in toward the glutes as well. Brilliant. We'll just do one more to each side. Brilliant. Last one. And then when we come back, just sit back on your heels, reach your arms forward and relax your head down. Take some nice big deep breaths in. Just get that oxygen flowing. And then we're going to come back to all fours and shuffle toward the end of the mat, back into seated. So we're going to roll back into supine again. So making sure we've got that bit of space behind us. Feet down, let's sit tall. We'll keep hold of the back of the knees. Shoulders back and down, chin level with the floor. Let's make sure we use our core muscles to help control this as well. So we're going to breathe in again through the nose. And then as we exhale through the mouth, you're drawing your navel in again. Lovely. Okay, now you're going to come off your sit bones, those bony parts just underneath the glutes. Lower the ribs, lean back, let go of the knees, and come back down into a lovely full body stretch again. So really reach the arms overhead, lengthen out the legs, point the toes, and you can wiggle the fingers and toes again. Let's flex the ankles too. So remember that lovely calf stretch. And now place your arms by your sides, palms down, and feet back on the floor. So legs back in crook, knees and feet hip width apart. Let's relax the shoulders and the pelvis. All right, we're going to go back to shoulder bridge again. So remember, you want the back of your upper arms just gently press down. Remember, not too hard, because if you do that, it makes you flare your ribs. You just want that little bit of support. We're going to go back up into the bridge. Okay, so deep breath first. And then exhale through the mouth, tucking the tailbone under, lifting the hips and rolling up into the shoulder bridge. Perfect. Now just stay there for me. Again, making sure you've got your arms pressed down so that you're not kind of dropping the ribs. You've got nice scapular strength and stability. Okay, just widen out your arms a little bit further away from you. Now this time, instead of rolling down from the bridge, kind of going vertebra by vertebra, we're going to keep the spine straight and you're just going to very gently lower and lift your tailbone. Okay, so this is not sequential control of the spine. We're keeping the spine in neutral. And this is more of a hinge at the hip. Okay, so still working the back of the legs and the glutes, but we've got that scapular strength and support as well. Lots of stability around the shoulders. Good. Let's hold this next one up. Fantastic. Okay, keep the tailbone tucked under, and now you're going to very gently lift your heels. Then place them down. Now lift your toes and place them down. Let's keep it going. Heels, down, toes, down. Exhale, exhale. So every time you lift your heels or your toes, you're exhaling. Just take a sip of air in between. Keep the tailbone tucked under. Don't drop your bottom. We've got 3. You're almost there. 2. And that last one. Fantastic. Now roll down. Bring one knee in, then the other, and circle them round. So go a couple of times in each direction with your knees, so you're massaging the lower back. Brilliant. Okay, one of my favorite little stretches is called the happy baby pose. Okay, so let's have a go at that. It's really nice for the hips and the glutes. Just part your knees and see if you can place your arms through the gap between your knees. You're going to take hold of either the feet or the ankles and just relax into that lovely little stretch. Breathe normally, breathe deeply. Fantastic. And then if you place your feet down on the floor, just gently roll onto one side, placing your hand down so that you can come up to seated. We're going to finish with a nice little side bend. So we'll do it from a kneeling position. So around sort of the center of your mat, just come to kneeling and sit nice and tall. Relaxing your arms, Shoulders back and down, chin level with the floor. So we're really trying to lengthen through the spine before we do this nice little stretch for the side of the body. Let's place the fingertips of the left hand down next to you, so next to your hip. You're going to take your right arm out to the side and then reach up, so your arm is by your ear. Now try and keep your navel drawn in and slowly side bend over to the left. So start to feel a stretch down the right side of your body. Now you want to try and keep your pelvis nice and still so it's not lifting up, keep the hip down. Okay, let's go a little further if you can. You can place your palm down, you can bend your elbow, and over we go. So really trying to reach the fingertips away from you. Keep your chest facing forward. Lovely. Let's come back and we'll do the same on the other side. So fingertips of the right hand down next to your hip. Let's take the left arm out to the side. Reach up by your ear. Side bend over. You can place the palm down. Remember, keep your chest facing forward. Reach your fingertips away and keep that left hip down. Enjoy the stretch. And then we're coming back to the center, rolling the shoulders to get rid of any tension. And then we're going to finish on some nice, deep cleansing breaths. We're going to reach our arms up as we breathe in. So big, deep breath. And then exhale. And again, big, deep breath in. Exhale. And last one. Fabulous. Well done. Well done. I really hope that you enjoyed that. If you made it to the end of the video, you should be really proud of yourself because you've moved, you've strengthened your core, and you've challenged your balance and coordination. So hopefully you're feeling a bit more calmer, a bit more connected to your body. So if you did enjoy the video, remember to give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can see all of the other videos in my library. Thank you so much for moving with me today, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.